All right, guys, we are live. I am Steve from Cookout Coach here on the Adrenaline Barbecue channel with the inventor of the slow and sear, Mr. Dave Parrish himself. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Great. And also we've got Steve Casado with us as well. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. How you doing, bud?
Oh, not too bad. Also in the chat, we've got Christy from Christy from Christy's Cooking Channel. And you might see Justin from Baby Back Maniac running around in there as well. So, Dave, that being said, tonight's a special night. We're going to talk about something brand new and exciting that people have been wanting to hear for a while. So,
I know
you're ready,
we've been dropping a lot of teasers over the past couple of months, and tonight's the night.
Absolutely. So, we got a lot of questions, and if you're ready, we'll just go ahead and jump into them.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. So, the very first question we have is pretty simple and to the point. This fan just wanted to know, why a Kamado, Dave?
Okay, so we've actually been working on our own grill for a couple of years now, and we also consider feedback and requests that we get from our customers. So this was really a confluence of a couple of things. Actually, three things. We're working on our own grills, so we're trying different grills. The most requested slow and sear is for a Kamado style grill, and we have people say, "I have, so and so Kamado. Please make a slow and sear for it." And so we catalog those and we keep track of it. We have looked at the Kamados in the market and considered what it would take to make a slow and sear for them, and they just don't work. The other thing is, a couple of years ago, we made the slow and sear low profile for the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. And for you guys that aren't familiar with the Summit Charcoal Grill, it's a Kamado made of metal. Justin Baby Back Maniac calls it the Honda minivan of Kamados because it's just got all kinds of features and stuff. So we made the low profile for it, and that grill with the low profile just works phenomenally well. It really does. And I have boo-hooed or poo-pooed or whatever Kamados in the past. Meathead from Amazing Ribs does a very good job of talking about the pros and cons of Kamados. I won't recap those here, but I'll say go check out his website, and maybe we should try to post a link in the description if people want to read his thoughts on Kamados. But there's a couple of major design flaws with Kamados when it comes to grilling and smoking. The fire is too far away from your food when you're trying to sear. So to compensate for that, people try to get their grills up to 7, 8, 9, 1,000 degrees. They just get them super hot. And I mean, that's not safe to have a grill that hot. And it's really not the better solution. The better solution is to get the meat closer to the heat so you don't need that much heat to begin with. The other problem with Kamados is that they are so efficient that the fire smolders, and it makes it hard to maintain 225, 250, those really low and slow temps, and have a fire that is going through pyrolysis, which means clean smoke, good nitrogen oxide, good smoke ring, good flavor, no bitter taste. It's hard to do that with Kamados because of their efficiency. So the slow and sear, the new slow and sear Deluxe Kamado that we've created addresses both of those. And I custom made a Kamado. I put a slow and sear in it. I started cooking with it, and it performed so well, we immediately decided to go to market. And we're going to have a question later about data. And I said yesterday, I'm going to have to manage expectations because this thing works phenomenally well, but we don't have like extensive data points that tells you it goes for so many hours and and various cooks and that kind of thing. But we have enough information that we'll be able to convey overall the performance. Let's see, something else I was going to say. Oh, cue the. Can you cue our image, our side shot image?
Sure. So 1 second here. All right, are you seeing that?
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
Casado, is it showing?
It's not. Hold on.
Yeah, can you pin it? It's disappearing.
Yep. How about now?
Okay, so
No,
this.
it's not.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, let's try that. How about
All
now?
right,
Dave?
how about now?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, so in this image, you can see that this Kamado, the fire bowl, and the bowl of the Kamado itself have been designed so a slow and sear fits in it, and that is the slow and sear 2.0. The our standard 22-inch easy spin grate and our drip and griddle pan. The Kamado was designed around those products. So as you can see in this image, the heat is as close to the meat as you can possibly get it. So you can hit searing temperatures with this grill with much less charcoal than it would take with a regular Kamado. And at the same time, you have a true two-zone environment where the indirect zone is hundreds of degrees cooler than the sear zone. Another thing that you can see in this picture is our illustration of the smoke. We're depicting a lot of it going over to the indirect side with the steam, and then you'll see there's some of the smoke going out the top vent without going to the indirect side. We call that bypass heat. So what this does is it forces your fire to burn hotter than it normally would in a perfectly efficient Kamado that's heating with all the airflow. And it allows you to get pyrolysis, and that increased smoke gives you more smoke flavor on the meat and a better smoke ring. I've gotten some just phenomenal bark and phenomenal smoke rings using this. So it works like a regular Kamado, but it gives you the best of the extremes. So if it comes to searing or it comes to smoking, you can do a really great job in either one of those cooking phases using our Kamado, much more so than you can with a regular traditional style Kamado.
Very cool. That was a very in-depth answer to why Kamado. I appreciate the fluency on exactly why you did that. But you just mentioned charcoal, so that takes us to our next question: is do you recommend a specific charcoal with this? Are we going to be limited to lump like most of the other manufacturers recommend, or can we use briquettes?
Okay, can we go back to the image?
Absolutely. Now that I know what I'm doing to get it up there, absolutely.
All right. So in this image, you can see that the charcoal is actually burning well above the bottom of the Kamado. And basically the ash drops to the bottom. And this thing, it takes a lot of ash to block this thing. So you can use briquettes, you can use lump, any kind of charcoal fuel that works in a kettle or a Kamado is going to work in our Deluxe Kamado. Also, we're bringing to market our own brand of charcoal. The first one that's going to hit is a charcoal briquette, and it burns 30% longer than the traditional briquettes out there. So you can look at that as 30% more burn time or 30% less ash or either way. So yeah, use briquettes, use lump, use your favorite charcoal. We're going to have our own premium charcoal that we're going to be selling, and we'll send you a bag of that when with your first purchase. And whatever you want to use, though, it'll work.
Very cool. Very cool. Here.
Did I drop? Hey, I think I may have dropped. Did you just ask a question?
Oh, sorry about that. Yep, sure did. So the next question was, is there a configuration option that places the slow and sear lower with room for an indirect piece above it for low and slow cooking on the entirety of the grate?
Okay, so the answer is no, but yes. So the slow and sear, there's two charcoal grates. There's the slow and sear charcoal grate, which is a custom stainless steel charcoal grate that we've provided that the slow and sear sits on. The slow and sear doesn't move; it stays right where we depicted in that image. Now that said, our Kamado comes with the easy spin grate and the elevated cooking grate. So with those two pieces, and because those grates can spin, so you can have the elevated grate over the sear zone or the regular grate over the sear zone, and they spin like this.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have a type of Santa Maria cooking. You've got, if you put the grate right over the sear zone, you've got the meat right to the heat. If you put the elevated cooking grate over the sear zone, you've got 4 more inches of distance, so it gives you moderate radiant heat. On the indirect side, the regular grate gives you indirect heat at a certain temperature, and the elevated grate is going to be, anywhere from 30 to 70 degrees warmer, depending on how long the Kamado has been closed when you're using that grate. So in effect, you're getting 4 different levels of cooking with those grates, and they just spin around like that super easily. So it's very convenient to use those 4 levels. Now, also, you can take the slow and sear out, and we provide a standard cast iron Kamado charcoal grate that goes in the bottom, and a diffuser plate. And with those 2 pieces, you can use it like a regular Kamado over the entire cooking zone if you want to. So in addition to having slow and sear with the easy spin grate, the elevated cooking grate, the Deluxe dripper and griddle pan with the roasting rack, we're also providing a central diffuser plate and a cast iron charcoal grate. So this is basically the Mercedes or the BMW of Kamados. I mean, it's high quality, 50% quarterite ceramic. It's the best on the market. It's custom tooled to work. The Kamado is custom designed to work with our products. It's thick, it's heavy. The finish looks beautiful. Lots of stainless steel on the outside. It's a great grill.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen any more than the pictures everyone else sees, but
Let's show the first two owners.
Sure. So
actually, 2 owners and his buddy Mau Mau.
So here we go. There is.
Yeah, so there's Guga.
Guga and Mau Mau.
Yeah, that kind of gives you a sense of how big this Kamado is. It's much bigger than the standard 18-inch Kamados that are the traditional size Kamados on the market.
Yeah, it definitely. I wasn't expecting to see it quite as big, especially in this picture with Russ.
Yeah, it just dwarfs that kettle in the background too.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it to be quite that large, but fantastic, and it looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I mean, people asked me what color it was before they had seen it, and I mentioned, well, it's going to be gray, and they're like, gray? That seems kind of boring. I'm like, no, dude, this is like the custom car on display kind of matte, beautiful graphite kind of finish. It's really beautiful in person. I mean, it looks good in these pictures, but the pictures don't do it justice. It's a beautiful color.
Yeah, that gray pairs with all that stainless steel really well.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, well, we can gawk at it later. I suppose people in this chat right now probably want some answers. So moving on to this next commenter, I appreciate their directness because they just gave me a bulleted point of questions. So the first question was, what makes this different or better than the Big Green Egg or Kamado Joe? David, I feel like you kind of already started down that path with what we've talked about already.
Yeah, I mean, to recap, it's a true 2-zone environment that has better searing power using less fuel, and it has a better smoke flavor because of the way the airflow is designed. One thing that I didn't mention that I'll mention now is that you can actually adjust the efficiency of this Kamado. So that top vent will allow more air to flow through than what can fully burn in the slow and sear. So when you fully open that vent, you bypass more and more of the heat, which allows you to decrease the efficiency, and which helps you dial in really good quality smoke and the amount of quality smoke that you want to put on, put on your food. And because, like every other slow and sear, this thing is extremely easy to refill. I mean, you pop the lid, you throw the charcoal in, 30 seconds, you're done. You can sacrifice some efficiency to get that better smoke flavor without having to worry about what other traditional Kamado owners have to worry about, is pulling out the water pan, the diffuser plate, taking your food off, figuring out how to, not mess up where your probe wires are running and all that, refuel. And, there's a lot of reasons it's better.
Sure. The second bullet point was they want to know what's the size on this thing.
So the Kamado is designed to go around our Slow and Sear 2.0, our drip and griddle pan, and our easy spin grate. So it fits those traditional components, and it's going to come with all those. But if you have a Slow and Sear and an easy spin grate you bought for your 22-inch kettle, those will fit in here too. But it's a package deal. It already comes with all those. So just to throw that out there, it's coming with them anyway. So if you already have them or not, you're going to get them again.
That's interesting because for some reason, 22 inches is a weird size for Kamados. Like I feel like Kamados are always 18, maybe 20, then like straight to 24, 26. It's very strange to me that they don't hit the classic 22 inch most of them.
I think they did that because they didn't want, and I mean, this is just off the hip. I think they wanted to have their own custom accessories, so they were purposely a different size. But yeah,
Sure.
it's a great size. You can get a lot of food on there. You can get, unlike the 18-inch Kamados, you can get a full rack of ribs on this thing, or a full brisket, and actually you can get 3 racks of ribs on there, or a couple of monster briskets. You can get a ton of food on there. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good point.
Moving on. Will there be any attachments like a rotisserie or ones that would work that are already produced by other companies?
So I'm going to get on my soapbox for a little bit here. The Kamado world has gone gee whiz nuts with accessories. And there are some Kamados out there that have 6 different types of grate that are all different attempts to do what the Slow and Sear does naturally, which is create true searing power. So we are going to work on some extra. We actually, I'm on the road right now, getting ready to talk to some folks about a new accessory that we're working on. But what I will tell you, and for existing Kamados owners out there, and our owners, think about this. How many of these accessories have you bought for other Kamados that you actually use? And if you own a kettle and a Slow and Sear, or any of our other products, how many products have you bought from us that you don't use? So if we make it, it's going to matter, and it's going to improve and elevate your cooking in some manner. And we're not going to make needless accessories that try to get around the design limitations.
Nice. That's a great answer. Yeah, fantastic. Moving on, I'm assuming this gentleman wants to know, for his own ability to move it around, what's the weight on this thing going to be? It's gotta be a heavy
Okay.
piece, right?
So it's heavy. It's very dense, high quality ceramic. It is it's over, it's 200 and 105 kilograms, 220 pounds, 215, somewhere in there. It's heavy. That said, it's going to come out of the box assembled. So the bowl, the hinge, the bands and the bowl and the lid, all that stuff is already put together. There are 16 screws that you use to assemble the cradle and the shelves, and that's pretty much, and the handle, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it comes out of the box assembled. You can get this thing put together really quickly, but you're going to need a buddy to help you get it into the cradle once you get it put together.
Absolutely. That leads in perfectly to our next couple questions here. They just have hinge mechanism question mark listed. I'm sure that, because, for instance, on certain other red Kamados, that hinge can be a problem. I've heard several people complain about them. What kind of hinge are we talking about on this one?
So this is a classic style spring hinge, and it is made out of 304 stainless steel. So the hinge is 304 stainless steel. The springs are stainless steel. The bands are stainless steel, all 304 stainless steel. And it is, I think the technical term is freaking large gauge steel. I think that's the technical term. It is very thick, sturdy stuff. It's a nice weighty lid when you close it. It's a premium high temp felt style gasket. You don't have to worry about lid leaks at all. I mean, this thing is airtight. You can run 10 probe wires between the lip and the bowl, just close it down, and you're not going to have any problems. And it does all that without a latch you have to worry with. So it's a very solid, constructed, reliable, day after day after day, non-rusting design.
Great. The last question this user had was, is there an ash basket? I know that, cleaning out Kamados, traditional ones, can be a big point of contention for some people. I mean, several people have had dedicated shop vacs just for cleaning out the Kamado.
So one good thing about our Kamado is you don't have to have the charcoal grate in the bottom. So all the ash goes right into the bottom of the fire bowl. And we provide an ash tool that gets into the bowl and around the bowl and all that, and you can clean the ash out. It is actually pretty easy to clean out the ash, and it, like I said, it holds a lot of ash before that ever becomes a problem with airflow. So having to worry about bits of charcoal clogging up the charcoal grate, and having to worry about how much ash your Kamado can actually hold before airflow gets impacted. Those are not things you're going to worry about with this one.
Gotcha. Our next commenter had this question. You've sort of already touched on it, but I think we'd like to elaborate a little bit. You said it's hard to get a good smoke ring on a Kamado style cooker, and any of us who have cooked on Kamados know that to be true. Yep. How did you solve that problem for this?
Airflow. So our Kamado has all the great properties of a thick ceramic Kamado with a ton of thermal mass. You hit a temperature, it just maintains it. You dial it in, and you'll almost, I mean, it's very steady. And you can do that with higher airflow than you can do with other Kamados, and that increased airflow gives you better smoke and more smoke. So you get killer smoke rings, the likes of which you don't see outside of the big, heavy gauge steel offset smokers. It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Actually, you can get a killer smoke ring with the slow and sear too. So I shouldn't, and the kettle. So I shouldn't.
That's what I think I've heard you mention before. The Smoky Joe plus the smaller slow and sear, like the smoke.
The Jumbo Joe, with our charcoal basket and a water pan over the basket. That gives you the best smoke ring of all the different combinations that we all offer with the Weber products. It's kind of surprising you get it from an 18-incher, but you do. It's pretty cool.
There you go. The next question we have is, will this grill have an integrated slow and sear, or will the one with the 22-inch kettle most of us have suffice? What items are included in the configuration at launch?
Okay, so it includes everything: the cradle, the side shelves, the stainless 3 or 4 stainless steel intake and top cover, top damper rather. It comes with a cast iron charcoal grate for your bottom charcoal level. It comes with a ceramic diffuser slash, you can use it to cook pizza, stone when you're using that bottom level. It comes with a 3 or 4 stainless steel charcoal grate that's designed. That's our upper level charcoal grate that works with the slow and sear. It comes with a drip and griddle pan with a roasting rack, the easy spin grate, the elevated cooking grate, and I feel like I missed something. An ash tool, pretty much everything. It's the fully loaded Mercedes-Benz of Kamados.
Yeah, that's quite the list there. That's definitely what you want to see when you're buying a grill, not the. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times you get the bait and switch. Like, this is what it costs, and then by the time you actually get the grill, it's double that.
And we thought about that. That's a good point. We thought about trying to hit a lower price point and not including some of those products, but they're all useful and they all improve your cooking. And like the easy spin grate and the elevated cooking grate give you 2 direct sear zone levels and 2 indirect cooking levels that have variant amounts of heat, and they're just all important. And we didn't want to sacrifice the experience to try to hit a lower price point, so we just put everything in there.
Sure, absolutely. That's I think that's something a lot of people will appreciate.
Yeah.
And actually, that jumps right into our next question, which is sort of fitting because it is 9/27. But we've got what's the price, and will the new grill include shipping within the lower 48 states?
Okay, direct. So we're direct to consumer pricing is $14.99. That includes shipping, lift gate service. They'll take it down your driveway, put it in your garage or to the farthest spot of your driveway, all included, and all the accessories that we mentioned there. So we're actually providing a unique value on the market. There's nothing out there that gives you that much space with that much quality near that price point. Actually, there's nothing out there that has a seltzer in it. So there's nothing out there that nothing.
I mean, freight shipping will get you every time too. It costs a ton.
Yeah, shipping this thing is not cheap, but we're able to get it in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got a couple follow-ups to that.
Okay.
Bad Bees Barbecue asked, what kind of warranty will it have? And Big Dough Rack asked, will it be accessible in Canada?
So our warranty is going to be commensurate with any other top-notch premium Kamado out there. So basically lifetime on the ceramics, and I think we offer 10 years on the slow and sear. Now, the other thing I'll say about warranty is we've been selling accessories since 2015, and we have never turned down a warranty claim. We don't get them that often, so which, knock on wood, allows us to do that. But yeah, we're going to take care of you. As far as will it be available in Canada, we're not going to be able to ship it to Canada. There's too much cross the border complexities to do that. But we do have a couple of retailers in Canada, and if you want to reach out to them and ask them, please go buy these wholesale, then we'll get that to them ASAP, and you'll be able to buy it in Canada or Europe or Australia or New Zealand, anywhere else that we have wholesalers. We're willing to get it to them so they can sell to you.
Gotcha. It's great. Now, we have hit our 30-minute point where we usually stop these things, but this is a special one, so I'm going to defer to you, David. Are we good for tonight, or do you want to answer a few more of these?
How many more questions do we have? I don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Looks like 6.
All right, let's try to get through them.
All right.
As long as people hang out, we'll keep talking.
All right. So the next one is, I'd love to see some data from some test runs. How stable are the temps? How long can it go on one load of coal? And how hot can the direct zone get? I know that you mentioned there's not a whole lot of data because I imagine there haven't been a whole lot of beta testers, but I'm sure you could speak to some of how it runs.
So it gets as hot, and actually gets a little bit hotter than the slow and sear in a kettle. The really nifty thing with this, though, is that it will maintain those super hot searing temperatures for longer because you've got all that thermal mass that soaks in the heat around where the slow and sear is, and you've got the really good airflow. Like, you can get more airflow in this Kamado, much more than you can in a kettle. So you can hit work 10 plus searing temperatures and maintain them much longer than you can in a kettle. What was the other part of that question?
How long can you go on one load of coal?
So I've been testing this one since I think August or September of last year. I forget. And I haven't had too many warm nights, but even, or days, but even in the cold temperatures, I mean, it's a Kamado, they work great in cold weather, a minimum of 10 hours on a load of charcoal. And that also depends on how you dial your efficiency in. So if you make it less efficient and, you trade off a little bit of efficiency for more smoke flavor, you're still going to get a very long burn time. So it's really good with the charcoal when you want it to be, and then you can dial in less efficiency when you want to get more bark and more smoke flavor.
Gotcha. Our next comment here questions: how does this line with the products already sold by ABC? They bring up a few months ago there was a video made comparing the slow and sear to a big green egg and showing its efficiencies. So why the shift to a product similar to something you previously outshone with your current products? Do you no longer believe in the superiority of the kettle and slow and sear?
No, I absolutely believe in the superiority of the kettle and the slow and sear versus the comparison we did to the big green egg. The big green egg, design limitations with the way it comes out of the box or with any of the accessories it offers. The heat is too far from the meat, and they have a very kludgy kind of method to sear a steak, where you basically get it super, super hot and then you starve all the air, and there are better ways to do it. But yeah, I mean, our Kamado, superior searing, superior smoking, everything about superior. So it's a fusion of the benefits of a Kamado with the benefits of the slow and sear in the kettle. It's the best of both worlds.
Gotcha. Moving on. How fast will it get up to a clean smoke?
Surprisingly fast. And most of our videos and recipes that we have online, you're going to be able to follow those for this Kamado. Really, the only difference is going to be you're going to have to get used to different amounts of charcoal. When I'm cooking low and slow on this one, I'll usually start with a half or 2/3 fully lit briquettes and dump them in. And instead of having the vents open and dial them down, I start with the vents mostly closed. And what happens is that charcoal quickly transitions heat into the ceramic, warms it up, and it burns clean. You can hit low and slow smoking temperatures with super clean smoke in less than a half hour. It's pretty impressive.
Very nice. Yeah, that's great. Because the general rule of thumb, if I'm going to fire up a smoker, I give myself an hour to let everything come up to. It's
similar to a kettle with a slow and sear as far as how long it takes. You can get it in under a half hour with practice.
Fantastic. Moving on, does it have a built-in port for a temperature controller fan? And are there ports or perhaps a gasket for thermometer probe wires?
There's no port for a thermostat controller. That said, the intake vent is a standard size, so it works with any of the controllers that are currently on the market. So you're not going to have a problem with that. There is no port for probe wires because there doesn't need to be. The gasket is, it's very high temp felt style gasket. It's nice and thick. The lid seats very tightly on the bowl. You can run a lot of wires under that thing without having to worry about any leaks.
Great. Yeah, you sort of hit on that a little bit earlier when we'd ask a question about what type of gasket material. But that's one of the nice things about Kamado's with that front port. That if you want to run a typical temperature controller, it fits right in there. But what I find is once you figure out a Kamado and how to run it, like I have gurus, but they just sit on the shelf now because once you figure these things out, and I'm sure this is going to be the exact same.
They're definitely not nice for a good night's sleep though. If you just don't want to have to worry about alarms or whatever, they're good for that.
That is true. Moving on. Our next last question is this new ABC Kamado better than a Summit with a slow and sear or a slow and sear charcoal basket? And will it be available in Europe?
Will it be available where?
Europe.
Oh, Europe. If our wholesalers purchase it, then in Europe, and we have several in Europe, so definitely potential for that. Is it better than the Summit? The Summits are a really good grill, especially with our accessories. I think that would be and one thing to consider is all our Kamado is designed to work with all our accessories. The Summit, we don't have a easy spin grate for it. We don't have an elevated cooking. Well, I guess our elevated cooking grate might work on the Summit grate, but all of our products, our Kamado is custom built to work with our products. Also, there's going to be preference. I mean, if our Kamado is a very heavy, high quality, traditional ceramic. The Weber is porcelain coated steel. So there's going to be preferences there. Our top vent and our airflow management, I think, is superior. Actually, I mean, the Summit's got a really good vent. You can just get even more airflow with ours, and thermal mass that we provide with the ability to dial in the efficiency due to the top vent airflow. I think we have a leg up on the Summit.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be
it's close, but I mean, it's a great grill. I'm not going to knock it, but I think we got a leg up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because YouTube is full of comparison videos, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Summit versus SNS comparison video just by somebody who's got the time.
I would welcome that.
I'm sure you have no fear walking into that.
Yeah.
Our last question of the evening will be, how well does this perform with hot and fast? Referring to the cooking technique.
Okay, so this is definitely an area where it excels. 325, 400 plus hot and fast cooks. Kamados are great at efficiency in those temperature ranges. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal for hot and fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that, you've answered all the questions that I was able to gather up this week.
All right.
There's a few others that I think you can do really quickly that we should get through. Joe Perez asked when it'll be available.
Oh,
and Phil Salwasser asked, what about protecting the investment? Like, will it have a cover and maintenance and all that kind of stuff?
All right, we do have a cover, but there's nothing on it that wears out, so you can leave it out in the rain if you want to. They're supposed to get in the 12th of March, and we're going to be at the Dallas Expo from March the 14th to the 17th. So as soon as we get back from that, and hey, anybody in the Dallas area, please come by and say, hey, come check out the grill. we're gonna be at the expo. We would love to see you. Tell your friends, and we're hoping Guga shows up. He's working on his schedule. We're hoping he's there. Should be a good time. So mid-March is very reliable. We'll put a link in the description. If you go to our website and email us on our Contact Us page and ask about pre-order or special show deal for anyone that buys between now and the time that we start shipping, and by reaching out through us on our Contact Us page, we're going to give you guys a deal. And we're going to give you the best possible price that you can get on it. We're going to have a little bit of a discount, and we're going to give you a choice of accessories of a free accessory to go with the grill, like a thermometer or a cover or our custom grill grates, the anodized aluminum grill grates. And we're going to offer that. So, guys, there's only a limited number that are coming in. So if you're interested, definitely get in on the pre-order deal. My IT team's going to be mad at me because I didn't tell them I was going to say that.
Dave, what's it called?
What's that?
What's it called?
What's what called?
The deal.
Oh, the slow and seal the deal. Is that what you guys called it? The slow and seal the deal. Yeah. So put that in the subject or put pre-order or something, and we'll reach out to you very shortly and let you pre-order. And of course, if you want to cancel the order between now and the time it ships, you can do that with a full refund. But you're the guys the folks that get in right now before we ship are going to get the best deal.
Awesome.
And one last thing, colors.
It comes in any color you want as long as you like gray.
Okay. It's a gray? It looked green.
No, it's gray.
Oh my God, I'm colorblind.
Really, dude? Really?
You're having issues over there, Steve.
Wow, that's a problem for me.
Oh.
All right. Well, that's a heck of a way to end this one with a special deal for those pre-orders. So I'm sure people will be jumping on that one. But that being said, it's 9:43. We've gone over, but we got all the questions answered. Dave, you got anything else you want to say to the people before we call it tonight?
Yeah. Just thank you for being patient with us. We hope that we got all of the questions that had been asked in the past few episodes. Apologize it took us this long to get it out to you, but we were fine-tuning some last-minute details, and we wanted to make sure that we had all of the relevant information. If you have any more questions, leave them as a comment to the video, not the live chat, so we'll see them and we'll try to address them later. But hopefully we got everything. Thanks so much for checking in with us. Hope you love this grill as much as I do, and I can't wait to see what you guys cook with it.
All right, guys. So that being said, we're going to call it a night. Thanks for hanging out with us. And till next time, y'all take it easy.